Welcome, welcome, welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of sugar honey iced tea. I am Mia.
And I am Christie. And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next, couple. I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yes.
Uh, let's see, you guys. This will be 172, Christy.
Yep. This is our 172nd episode.
And what I love about 172, when you break it down, that's a 10, right? Which is a one. And one's equal when we talk about, the energy of numbers. One is a new beginning. So I love, we didn't know that beforehand because what I'm about to say is funny. So we were literally like, wait, what number is this? So I think it's so apropos for this episode to have the energy, the number energy of a one of new beginnings, because you guys, this is our last episode. Well, for the foreseeable future, hey, we might come on and do something, but we have really, over the last full, like 4 years, for like a strong 4 years, have put in a lot of energy and time and if I can say, very much so enjoyed the process. But it does take a lot of energy and time, and we are
Money.
both. Oh yes, and money. Yes, that part. And we are both at a place where we just have to. There's only so many energy points that you have in a moment, and then we're just in a moment where we have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I know, based on what we've heard from you all, that you all have thoroughly enjoyed this time. But we need to take a step back for a minute. Christy, can you chime in here?
Absolutely. So, number one, I just really want to thank the audience and also thank you, Mia, for this podcast and for this platform. It has been a wonderful ride. It's been a beautiful journey, and I have learned so much from sharing what we have experienced in our lives spiritually, as mothers, as just women navigating this world. I have been able and I've had the honor of meeting many of our listeners in person, whether it's at an event, and it's just, you're like, oh my gosh, from Two Queens. It's just been a really beautiful experience. For me personally, it got to a point where I realized that there are a lot of things. I mean, we talk about spirituality on here. We talk about, you know, showing up and being your authentic self. And I realized for me, there was a point where I wasn't showing up in a way that I wanted to show up for myself personally. And that's one of the reasons why, for me, stepping back is necessary right now. Because I've also realized that there's a lot of stuff that I need to work on. There's a lot of deep seated sugar honey iced tea that I still need to that I still need to work through as a person. And I want to show up as my very best self. And we're always encouraging you all to show up as your very best self. And, with some of the things that I do need to work through, it was not allowing me to do that. And so now I really want to focus on processing a lot of that stuff for myself so that I can be better and show up better and continue to walk and talk the talk, walk the walk. Because I don't want to preach something and then not be following it myself. It's just time. It's a season to step back and really work on some things for myself, through myself, release some things so that, if if or when we decide to come back to this platform, it can be better and we can, have things, just in a better place. So
I I think there's a couple of things I would like for us to kind of hit on, and I
hmm
think when you've kind of hit on one piece of it, just being honest with ourselves
yeah.
about what we need for ourselves.
hmm
So sometimes decisions that we have to make in general in our life, whether it's to leave a job, a relationship, or change something, it can be
hmm
difficult because it's comfortable. And
yeah.
I love the way that you kind of expressed just like what it is that you felt like you needed to do for yourself. Um, because that is something that we have often spoke about on this platform, being honest with ourselves about what we need for ourselves. And sometimes it's difficult putting ourselves first because, and I'm speaking to, I can speak to our ladies, the queens in the audience, listening to this. Um, I feel like many of you can relate to finding it difficult to put yourself first when you know that that's what you need to do. It is
Mm,
um, as women, we are naturally nurturers, so the people and things that are around us often get more of us than we can give to ourselves. And it's hard to pour from an empty cup. Like it's not hard; it's impossible. So
yeah.
at any moment in time, so let this be a reminder that in life, when it's time for you to pivot, to grow, to expand, sometimes it can be the process can be painful. But when you know what you need for yourself, be honest with yourself about what it is that you need. Because you know when we aren't honest with ourselves and actionable
Mhm.
against that, we're just we're betraying ourselves. So, and
Yeah.
I said this is something that we've talked about in several episodes because it's a part of your journey, making the right decisions for you, even when it's not necessarily the most comfortable. You know.
Mhm.
So this
Yeah.
is just a reminder of that. So, I mean, honestly, Christy, um, even this decision that we're making is walking the walk. So, you know what I mean? Because it's authentic, it's honest. It's like it's just a lot. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. And yesterday, I know I shared with you that because I was um, putting everyone else's needs, in front of mine, I was neglecting myself in certain areas, and I felt like I was just. I was telling Mia that because I wasn't making certain decisions and because I was like just in this place of fear and afraid to express myself and afraid to vocalize how I was feeling, it was eating me up. And I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
able to like move. I wasn't able to see progress. I just felt very stagnant and I didn't like the way that felt. I also didn't like feeling like, okay, yes, you have to, share how you feel, be your authentic self and allow your throat chakra to be open. But then myself, I wasn't able to do that. And so I
Mm-hmm.
really had to step back and make, um, look at myself. I mean, me and I, we talked about this last night. Like, there's really no one else to blame but me. I can't point fingers at anyone else but myself. So, yeah, I mean, this is, and
And
I, go ahead.
you bring up another look. I'm like you bring up another. Shall I say, another chapter that I think it's important to kind of hit on. Another chapter that can come up in people's journeys in your spiritual journey is a part, you're moving along, everything's awesome. And all of a sudden things start to feel very stagnant.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience personally that like Christy said, we were just kind of talking about this last night. I think we were both experiencing this. It just manifested itself in different ways, just like with anybody listening. It will manifest itself in different ways, or affect your life in different ways. This feeling of stagnation, feeling like, okay, I've done all this work. I'm here. you know, and it always happens to me like when I feel um I've gone past the point of no return. So it's not, I can't look back now and unknow what I know and unsee what I've seen and just go back because at least I wasn't stagnant in that space, right? So now I'm in this new space and everything, you know, you there is this point where I just felt like I don't know why like nothing is moving. I you know what I mean? I'm on this journey. I'm intentional about what it is that I do. Something is something is happening that's making nothing happen, and and I could
That
feel that with that part.
feel that.
That
Like I felt that. I truly felt that when you said
you
that.
know, just like what
I,
is happening.
but
So
Mia, I'm
that there is that you know we've talked about this before. Actually, I know. Wait, sidebar. Um, if anybody is listening to this and they're new to the podcast, let me say that all of our episodes will still be up. So you guys can, you know, go and explore. Because I know we did an episode on like spiritual stagnation and gave tips on how to, what happened, how to identify when you're in that space, but also what to do once you're in that space. But sorry. Go ahead, Christy.
no, it's okay. I apologize. Promised you. I just like I if I have a thought, I have to like get it out because I'm afraid I'm going to forget it, and I think I might have forgot it. But no, so I
Talking about spiritual stagnation. I mean, I'm sorry, just being stagnant, if that helps.
no, I was just going back to your point of, the number of this episode. Like I really like how you are expressing it in this way. Like it doesn't mean it's the end. I think this is going to give us an opportunity to step back and really figure out how we want this platform to look. What I mean, it may even show up in a different way. Me and I are still doing
Right.
sound baths. We have one coming up next week.
Yes. Come on.
I'm
Look, I'm like, come on,
next
plug. Come on, plug.
27th, October 27th, we are doing a sound bath at Intercontinental Hotel at 1 o'clock. And it's going to be in the pool. So it's an aqua sound bath. So this is the first time that they're ever doing this event. So we're going to continue to do some of those type of events. I know for me, connecting in person is huge for me. The
Mhm.
podcast,
Yeah.
I love the podcast. I love being able to connect. Some of you all connected with us online on social media, but it's the in-person connections for me that are huge. Like those are the major transformative
Hmm.
that's what I crave, that's what I really want, and that's what I feel like I really need. But no, I love the fact that you were saying that this number one, this is just like this is new beginnings.
Yes,
So
and we know we've talked about, and everyone who is listening to this, we know that sometimes in order for there to be a one, there has to have, there has to have been a nine. There has to have been an ending.
there you
So
go.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so um, I honestly I look at this time in my life as uh, what do you call it? Um, man, what is the movie The Matrix? Here's just a way to kind of explain. There is a part, and I believe it's in the first Matrix, the original one. Um, Keanu Reeves' character Neo is there's this point where he gets to this hallway. It's a white hallway, right? And he comes out, and I believe this is the time he was looking for the keymaker or the oracle. I can't remember right now, but um, he had gotten to this area where it was a long white hallway and there were all these doors, but the door that he had just come out of closed behind him. And when I think about that particular hallway, oftentimes when I feel like I'm in transition in my life, for some reason, this image of Neo in that hallway, because he was in nothing at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like he left a place, that door was closed, and now you're in this long white hallway. There's nothing else. Like you're kind of in the nothingness. And that can be a little scary, a little it can feel a little, very, let me just say, challenging and uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But the interesting thing about being in that space is now I get to choose. and be, now I'm being in a different space, having come through whatever door I just came in. Now I have more understanding of my spiritual sovereignty. So I literally get to choose which door I want to walk into, which space I want to walk into, where I want to go. And I kind of feel like that's where I am in my life.
Yeah.
So there's that little bit of uncomfortableness, but there's also like, oh, okay, but wait a minute though. Look at these options. Really understanding, or I should say, having a more depthful understanding of of the unlimitedness of this life, if we so choose. It's
Yeah.
so I and I would encourage um anyone who is at a space where you feel stagnant, or you feel um like, okay, whatever's going on right now, I need to figure this out for myself, to do whatever it is that your body, your mind, your spirit tells you that you need to do.
Yeah.
That's the part. Like, being honest with ourselves about what we need for ourselves.
Hmm.
If everything in you is say, hey, I really need to do this, or I really need to not do this, or do it. Be honest with yourselves. Allow yourself to be in that space.
Yeah. And I think in being honest with ourselves too, that can even be difficult because you're like, oh, well, I don't want to, I don't want to come off as being mean, or I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, or I don't want to upset this person, or I don't want to disappoint this person. But when we continue to not make the choice for ourselves because of what we believe other people are going to think or feel, we're doing ourselves a disservice. I
Mhm.
mean, Mia would always say in our episodes, what do you say that you're
Committing treason against yourself.
wait, what is that? Clock it.
That part.
Yeah. So, and because of that, I created this energy around myself where I was not happy with how I was showing up because I wasn't able to speak up, or I wasn't allowing myself to speak up. And so that being honest with yourselves, it can be hard. It can be hard. And I would like to encourage you to choose, like as Mia was saying, just choose you. Whatever spirit is telling you, whatever your guides are directing you, whatever you're feeling very strongly in your heart or your gut, follow that, you know?
Man, look, Chrissy, is so true, because when you think about it, um, your how can I say this? Your you always know what you need. We have been given, every human being, all of us, whether or not we realize it or not, understand that we always have the capacity to know exactly what we need for ourselves if we just listen to ourselves. It's the listening to ourselves that becomes a little difficult, but we
Yeah,
always have this ability to tap into our what is innately in us. Like, I know what was going to hurt me. I know what's going to help me. Um, so allowing yourself to, like, tap into that, and that inner power, that, I mean, and we all have it. We just don't pay attention to it.
right,
Um, it's important. I think that's another. I think that's another part of the journey that a lot of people often come into again. However it is that your cycle and your timeline that you've created and designed, however it comes to you. But I'm willing to bet, I'll put myself on the line here, that every person gets to a point where they start to realize, especially if you've chosen to be on this journey, like, wait a minute, hold on. I kind of, I know me. I got me. I trust my inner self to know what's the right thing for me to do. Like,
yeah,
for real. Because, trial and error. How do you get more comfortable, or how did I get more comfortable with understanding, and I'm still doing it, is by not listening to myself for so long, or doing what this stuff like doing what I thought other people would want me to do. So I'm projecting, I'm jumping all up in their head, like, well, they probably want me to do this, or they probably want me to say what, girl, that's not your business. That is
Right.
not my business. We got to start being about the business of ourselves
Yeah.
always. And that
And
doesn't mean to, like, like that doesn't mean you're hurting, ignoring anything. And that's what stops us from doing it. Even that mindset that me being about the business of myself, my like understanding me, mastering me, making sure I'm putting myself in the best place to be who I am, so that and then you know what happens, you guys, when you allow yourself to live authentically as who you are, there's not much that you have to do to get people to understand you, because your energy is so strong. The people who vibe and connect with that energy will continue to do so. And then when you're authentic, there will be people who like, I don't like that energy, it's ill, it's not for me. Let them fall away. But it makes it so much easier for you as a person when you are authentic. You don't even have to do anything, because what the energy that you put out is going to connect, match, catch, harmonize with the people who you are supposed to be with. So it's always about the business of you. It's not about trying to manage other people and trying to understand them and make them feel better. You are always setting ourselves up for hurt, pain, and so many more lessons when we go that route. So if it's always about the business of being you, that's literally helping the people that are around you as well.
facts. Yeah.
Clock it.
Well, you all can't see us, but there's a thing that Mia was telling me that her daughter does and her friends do.
uh,
And we're trying to stay hip and stuff,
where we look, I'm like, we try. Oh my goodness.
but it reminds me of an episode that we recorded a while ago about the power of choice. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I forgot too, is that we always have a choice. We always have a choice. We're never at a dead end. We're never at a place where it's like, well, what next? We can always
Yeah.
make a choice. And so there is power in it. Sometimes it doesn't feel comfortable, but I just want to encourage you all that, sometimes making those hard decisions or making choices to get to that next step or that next level, there's power behind it. And so, as Mia was saying, being about the business of yourself
Mm-hmm.
is the key. That's the key that's going to open up that door, you know? So,
Yep. I um and also, again, being on, I want to go back to the point that we are making earlier about doing what it is that you need to do for yourselves. And
spiritual.
anything that will help get you to a space or put you in a place, a space where it even starts the engine going, whatever you need. um oh, speaking of like sound healing, so if like Chrissy said, we'll still be doing some sound healing events. And you guys, she mentioned it earlier, but seriously, please go to the IG page where you can find the link there, or on the website. It is at the Intercontinental Hotel in Chicago on October 27th. That is a Sunday, and it is in their pool area. So it's an aqua sound healing.
Mhm.
Like, so you have the opportunity to lie in a pool on a mat, like you would normally, uh,
Floaty match.
a floating mat, if you will, in the pool. And let me say, the pool area is beautiful. Yeah, I know how people know, like, how much I love architecture and interior design. Is beautiful. Oh, this tile. It's like the original tile from when they first built the pool area. Like, I think it was like the 1920. Yeah, it's beautiful. It has a history. Everything has a history here in Chicago, but it's definitely a beautiful space. It's the first time that they're doing something like this, and I think it will be that's something. First of all, it'd be a great opportunity just to um, be in a collective space of um, energy like people. How about that? And that always helps us raise our energy. And this is something, the first time we're doing something like this, an aqua one. Now, if you are not too keen for the water, there's also space for you to bring your yoga mat, lie down, and experience it how we have traditionally done it to date. And we suggest people, lie down, put something over your eyes, and just take it all in. Don't worry about a thing. So you do still have that option. But for our ladies who are a little bit more um, adventurous and want to try something out, I would definitely suggest you come do it. The tickets are $30, Christy.
Yep, they're 30
The
plus tax, like 35, 36.
So the tickets are $30. You end up paying $35, $36. It's downtown. It's Magnificent Mile. It's giving. It's giving luxury.
I was just about to say that.
It's giving relaxation. It's giving soft era. Very
Yeah,
demure.
very mindful.
Very mindful. Pocket.
But I think that also the ticket will also give you a day pass to the hotel's amenities for the day. And I think there's also some other discounts or something. So we really want to encourage you all to attend and bring a friend.
Yes, I mean,
Attend.
you guys, I think this is a thing. This might be your post brunch or pre brunch. Will be a great Sunday afternoon treat, and they have great restaurants in there too, by the way. So once you leave, if you want to go down, Michael Dorton Steakhouse is still down there, and they have another restaurant. And what is the name of that restaurant, Chrissy? It's a
That
new.
new sushi place.
Yes.
I don't remember the name of it, but it's right inside of the
But it's
hotel.
right inside the hotel. And then, it's in a beautiful area downtown. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we hope to see you then. Sorry, I'm like, so go check it out. It's on our Instagram page, Two Creams Crystal Things, and it is also on the website. And I believe, does Intercontinental have one on their website as well?
It is on their website. Yeah. So the link, if you all wanted to go to my personal IG page, I have it in my Stan store. So there is a link on there. I also added it to our link tree on our Two Queens page. So you can find all the information there if you all need to get details. And then if you have any questions, feel free to DM either one of us.
Gotcha. All
Yeah.
right. Now, so Christy, I went and listened to our first episode. um
How was that?
I
Seemed like many moons ago. Actually, it was many moons ago.
it really was. It was right around my birthday in
Yes.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I listened to it, and honestly, I started tearing up but it was so it made me realize how much um this podcast, what we've been doing, has been so very healing.
It has been.
I, I listened to it, and I started just thinking. I was like, I mean,
Not just for the
this is
listeners.
basically right. I'm like, this was our therapy. Like, it was therapy for me, and it also provided an opportunity for me to get deeper into my journey, because into other things about the journey, and learn other things and listen to other things, and help me widen myself, help me expand myself and my journey because of the audience.
Yes.
So if you guys want to, you're like, oh, let me, or if it's something, and we've had some awesome people that we have spoken to that have shared their journey. So when I say this, it I just was like, wow. I definitely, it's so interesting. It's like that version of myself, I'm like, I miss her. Like, I can see some growth and healing. Like listen when I compare when I'm listening with my Mia ears, listening to Mia 4 years ago. Um,
Yeah, there was a lot of growth, so much growth from the very beginning for both of
I
us.
mean, yo,
So much.
it's like wow.
Even the listeners who have started from the
Yeah.
first episode,
Oh,
listened all the way up, they're like, oh my gosh, you all have, evolved so much, not just the podcast, but just in your walk and how you all are showing up. And
mm-hmm.
so that, I mean, this was a very healing platform for us. And again, this was a collective container that we created, not just for the audience, but it also benefited us too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So such gratitude. But it also had me thinking like, okay, um, anybody, and I think especially women, women, and I would probably say if I could get specific, I probably a lot more women who are millennial X, and probably some of your later Gen Zs, your older, early Gen Zers who are a little bit older. Um, I think if someone were to go through this from the beginning, um, and to the till the, until this episode, that they would likely hear a lot of things that are. It might be shocking to them. They're going through this kind of understanding, like, man, I'm literally going through this right now in my journey, because we were so upfront about the things. Oftentimes, the things that we talked about were things that we were either trying to learn more about, explore, were experiencing.
Mhm.
The rest would come from suggestions from you guys, but you know, we have been able to take advantage of opportunities where something is happening in the world. It's like, okay, we can't ignore that this is happening. We need to talk about this, but also be able to talk about being in whatever what's happening in the world, but maintaining you in
Yeah.
at the same at the same time. So that
Yeah.
was my
Being in the world but not of it.
yes.
That is the
And
beautiful
so, Christy,
journey.
what do you think about when we talk about being in the world? And it's so funny because right after the Diddy tape came out, the Cassie Diddy tape, where we did an episode where we talked about this, and we talked about, because again, keeping it a buck, we know that there are people listening who have experienced, if not that damn near exact same thing, very similar. And the effects of that. And we talked about, how do you move on, how do you gain your you know gain your power back after that, is there forgiveness after that, so we really had a conversation about that. So now here we are. Who knew? And I'm talking about Mr. Diddy. Who knew?
Well, yeah, remember I mentioned, I think it was like earlier part of this year, I was like, the veil is lifting and
What?
stuff is about to come, like shit's about to hit the fan.
We
Things
talked, yes.
things have been hidden from us that just we don't see, at least those who are maybe not quote unquote awake, who don't see, is going to be available for all to see and to determine, how they're going to process all of this. And so now people are starting to see the dismantling
Yes.
these Hollywood figures, and now they're starting to look like, okay, even Beyonce, she's not exempt because, she's been coming up in a lot of these conversations, and people are starting to look and like, wait, so I used to have this respect for this woman, and now she's not even saying anything. She's not, stepping up and saying anything. So this is like a big TV show that I have been looking forward to, because for years I've been saying stuff is not right. But for whatever reason, this year I was like, this is the year. Like stuff is about to be unleashed. The wings
Right.
unleashed.
Look, I'm like, oh, those two. um.
Yeah.
So, uh, what is what's that guy's name? I said this. I was joking. I was like, look, every year Cat Williams at the beginning of the year, he needs to go on and do a interview because, baby, everything he says, it has, I mean, it's kind of scary a little bit. I'm like, okay, don't let me find out Cat an undercover spiritual leader.
Yeah, this ties into exactly what we've been talking about is speaking your truth.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid to speak their truth, either because of what it's going to do for someone else or how they're going to appear. But now that people are starting, more and more people are speaking their truth, more and more people are starting to come out because they feel
Yes.
to do so.
Yeah, because
So,
because the energy has definitely changed, Christy. The world
right.
has definitely
Yeah.
changed. Like
Yeah.
the people who have not felt comfortable being able to speak their truth, they felt like it would be detrimental to their life, or we as society didn't create safe spaces or give people guarantees that, hey, when you speak the truth about what has happened, when somebody has hurt or wronged you, no matter who they are, they will protect you. We weren't doing that for people, as you know, as a collective.
Yep.
So I think that now people are first of all allowing that themselves to come and speak their truth, but also as a society, I think, and I'm of course making a sweeping generalization, not everybody, but you get the point.
Right.
We're allowing ourselves to be a little bit more compassionate. But and I have a theory as to why we weren't before. I think when people come out to and share their stories, like, you know, so if something happened to you as a celebrity, a you know, that you weren't able to, you know, something to that effect, then or something happened to you from a celebrity and you didn't share, you moved forward and you like, okay, I'm over it, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it. So let's say something like that, and then all of a sudden all these people are coming out sharing their story and it is very similar to yours. I think we as a society weren't at a place where we could allow ourselves to give people that safe space, because now you open to my traumas and I don't want to deal with my traumas. So how we would react is, you need to shut up, stop, like, why are you messing things up? And we're saying the world is fine, but what we're really saying is, like, I was fine before you opened your mouth, and now I'm sitting up here thinking about exactly what happened to me, and now I'm married with kids and blah 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 blah, and I don't want to come out and say this. My husband has no idea that this, that, you know, people were in such a you it's so easy for us to go to a space of self-preservation. But when we go to a place of self-preservation that is led by ego, it's different than when we go to like a self-preservation that is more of a realization, like it's coming from a place of love. It's, you know what I mean? It's not fear based. Self preservation, when it's in its ego, it's fear based. It's like, oh my God, my life is going to change. Nobody's going to like me. Blah blah blah. Da-da-da. Shut up. I don't want to think about this. I went to therapy for this. I'm over it. How dare you? But now we're so much more in a compassionate place because people want to really heal,
Yeah, I agree,
but
but
not
I will
fake
say
heal.
I agree, but I do also believe that no one should be reprimanded for speaking the truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
We weren't giving people that space.
Yeah.
We were definitely reprimanding people for space. I'm saying, and again, I'm talking about as a society.
And that's me too. So I'm saying society, they're the fact that people get penalized for speaking the truth, that should kind of have a red flag come up like, why is there an issue if you're
Yes.
speaking the truth? Now, if you're
Yes.
lying, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't like lying. But if you're speaking the truth, no one should be afraid and fearful of speaking their truth.
You know, and I feel like if, as a society, we've had it backwards, Chris. You are so right. We would punish people for speaking the truth. And then we would punish, so the people who would lie, like if someone comes up and, you know, makes an accusation of you that makes you ruin, you know, lose your job or lose position, or it really affects your life, and then it comes out to be true, not true, it's false, then we don't punish the person for lying.
Right.
We put, so the person that comes out tells the truth, we're like, we punish them. But then when people come out and lie and accuse people of doing things that and has completely affected their life and they're just freaking lying, we don't go back and punish them.
No, we don't.
Like that to me, that's just as harmful as, if you go out and accuse somebody of SAing you and it's not true, and you have
Mhm.
completely messed up their lives or affected them, which is probably what you want to do in the first place. And then you just, oops, oh well, proven wrong. And they get to walk away.
Right.
But you have really done something to somebody's life, like you've really done some, you didn't put your little mojo on that one. But then the
Mhm.
person who really was affected, that has been, we tell them to shut the hell up. We
But
would
I think it also shows
traditionally.
I think this is a really great showing that things are changing.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
now the media is being questioned about certain things. The systems are that have been in place are being questioned. So I really feel like a shift is happening, and this is just the beginning.
You know what? And that was the thing that I have been saying for at least 2024 is the institutions that we all as a society
Yeah.
trust. And I mean, it's that we all trust. We're going to be finding more about them that is going to kind of put all of us in a tailspin, because now it's like, okay, well, what can I believe and what can I trust? Which is why I think it is so important for people to for real get into your journey, because
Mhm.
everything about around you is shaky. You have to be your own foundation. The
Yeah, you got
government cannot be your foundation. A
Mhm.
bank cannot be your foundation. Your man, your kids, your friends, it cannot be your foundation, because that's just giving so much of your power as to who you are, how you feel in this world, how you walk around, your perceptions. If you give that foundation and those roots to anything outside of you, you are not in control of your life. We
Yeah.
can't control some of the things that are going to happen, that are happening. Like nobody, who, what? We can't control this, but the only thing that you can control is you. Back to be about the business of being you. Be about your business. Be about the
I
business
love
of you. That
the business of you.
look, that part.
Yeah.
Um, so with what's happening, um, I will say this. I want to, with all the celebrities who are now being accused and finger pointed and all of this stuff. Um, Personally, but there's some of them I just don't want to believe are involved in that, because I mean, first of all, like every celebrity in the world has been to a Diddy party. That does not mean that they've been in the freak offs. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there
there's a daytime party and there's a nighttime party.
there's the party after the party, not the
Right.
after party, but the after. But so, but with that being said, I don't, society sometimes, babe, we are some followers. We gonna go for the gusto. Everybody's involved, but we don't necessarily know. What I do feel more comfortable though about is, as society's expanding and growing and healing, I do feel comfortable that the same, that whoever is involved is coming out.
Oh, all of it is.
You know what I'm
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like I do feel comfortable knowing that. So that kind of, because a lot of us have, a lot of people have probably spent a lot of times thinking, worried about this, like, oh, what about the person that I like? They would never do that. You ain't got to wonder. I'm let that be me's prediction. I promise you, you won't have to wonder. And that to me, should give some, especially when we're looking at people that people admire and respect, and that should give us some solace to know that the truth is, when I say the truth is coming out, we're not gonna have to guess. Was Beyonce transporting kids or what? Well, you're gonna find out. It's when I say it's coming out, or as Cat Williams said, he said it's up for all y'all.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
it's,
He has been lifted up and
it's,
everybody is.
it's so, and that is the amazing thing. But you
Yeah.
know what? I also, but me and my silver lining, another silver lining of this is for people who look to celebrity influencers and use that as a comparison for their life and
Don't do
feel like, why am I not doing like them? Girl, compare. I believe comparison is the thief of joy. Straight thief. Like, just take your stuff. But for those who are in that space and trying to move from that space and understanding that you're as beautiful as you believe you are, as you want to be, as smart as you are, as rich as you are, what that all comes from you. It helps to move into that space when when you start to realize there a lot of things look like something, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the people that we have, that we call influencers or celebrities, you start to realize how some of them have been living their lives. I think
Yeah, it's all
something,
smoke and mirrors.
and I think that'll help a lot of people be like, hold on, I've been giving way too much attention to this stuff outside of me.
Mhm.
Like, and these people are what the only thing that you can trust to be true and what your mind considers to be true is you. I'm not saying everything outside of you is false, but you got to understand my truth isn't Christie's truth, isn't so and so's truth, and blah, blah, blah. So when we have our perception of what the truth is of someone else, and it turns out not to be that, that can be so jarring if you've allowed that much, given that much energy to that entity, whatever that is. So
Mhm.
back to, oh, you know what? I know what I'm really supposed to have been doing. Me, my journey, my my next steps, really understanding who I am and why I decided to manifest in this world at this time. Like some would say, this word is either the worst time to be alive or the best motherfucking time to be alive. What it is, guess what? Your choice.
Absolutely.
It can be whatever you want it to be. But anyway, so that's it. I love the tea is definitely piping in society these days. It is going down on so many, and like Christy
Dang.
said, and what you say, Christy, and it's just beginning.
It is. It is. But being about the business of you, that's what I'm about to be on.
So you guys, this is so Christy, do you have any? Oh wait, before I even do that, um uh what is I guess what's your takeaway from for now? Like, what's your takeaway? What are your parting words of wisdom?
Um, don't be afraid to be about your own business. Um,
Mm,
it may feel selfish, it may feel uncomfortable, but don't allow that fear to keep you bound and stagnant, because what's going to happen, again, because we all have a choice in all of this. Like Mia said, it can either be the best time of our lives or it can be the worst. We have a choice. So don't be fearful, and just keep in mind, the longer you sit on things, it that will also impact you spiritually and energetically. So
mm,
be mindful of choices you're making and the choices you're not making, and it's
mm,
not making that you should be making.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how it affects you, because I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was really affecting me. So yeah, that's my words of wisdom, and my parting
Um, you
thought.
are um I want to make sure that people know kind of some of the things that you are working on and doing. Um, so, Sage House Apothecary. Are we back there?
We are.
Mad at me. Yeah.
You are so good. You
Oh,
are called
look, like, see, I thought that was a lesson I had mastered.
Not yet. Sometimes it'll creep up and it's like, let's see, did she learn it? No, it's all good. Apothecary.
I'm like, you guys literally just saw that last. And I'm like, I thought I had it.
We're like, that didn't sound right.
Okay, right. So let me say this all together. Sage House Apothecary. What? Apothecary. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Apothecary. Apothecary. I cannot believe you guys. I promise you, I don't know what it was. I could not say that word for like a full
Well,
year.
you were close.
But I know that you have Christy has been teaching angelic Reiki, and I know you have two classes coming up in March and May. So please go to Christy's IG page at Sage House Apothecary, and also at Christy R. Edwards. And that's Christy with an IE, guys.
Thank you. And the CA.
It's Christy with IE. And there you will be able to find some of the things that she's also working on. I also understand that you have started doing some things on YouTube.
Yes. Yep. So again, a lot of this fear-based stuff that I've been working through. Yeah, so there's a woman, I'm trying to get her to be my mentor for my business. But I had a meeting with her and she was just sharing some of the outlets or platforms that have been very beneficial for her growing her business. And she mentioned YouTube. I'm like, ugh. So anyway, it's not pretty. It's not, edited. So, but I'm doing it because I need to start showing up for myself and stop being afraid of things. So we'll see how things go with that. But yeah, Mia, I know that you kind of shared some things yesterday that you're working on. I don't know if you want to share that here, but
Yes, no, I
follow Mia's page or where, you'll share where you're going to be posting
yeah.
all of your.
So I and actually this is a good segue. So I because into my words of wisdom, my parting words. So what I have uh as Christy knows, and probably you guys too, I write or have written quite a bit. I have a lot of content, and a lot of it is uh channeled, and I haven't shared a lot of it. And I had, when I tell you, the spirit has been like, girl, would you please stop playing? And I was talking to Christy about this the other day, like me putting this together where I'm going to start sharing some of this stuff because I think it's important. It's for the whoever, whoever, just like with this podcast, whoever needs it, it'll be there for them. The way that I talk and deliver and the things that I have to share is for somebody. And so spirit has just been really kind of on me. And y'all, I try to be very obedient. But when I say the fear, like actual tears, because it feels so a lot of it feels just so private. Because when I say like in those spaces where I'm downloading and I'm channeling, I'm getting information, I'll go back and look at stuff and I'm like, what? This is dope. Like, why? Who wrote this? And I clearly wrote it. It's in my. So I do want, I want to start sharing that, and I think that's also a part of me being honest with myself and not being afraid to show up with myself. So I am launching on this super full moon. I'm a moon y'all, a gal, y'all know this. And this is a big moon. I'm starting to do I'm going to do what I'm going to call collective readings and channelings. Um, and they are a lot more probably focused on the divine feminine energy. If you guys have been listening to this podcast, you know that self mastery and self mastery is huge for me because I honestly feel like that's the game. Like that literally, that's the game. We came here to remind ourselves of who we are, and so much of what I channel and write about is about this game called life. And um, waking up in, you know, as opposed to playing your game as a character outside, like not, you're not in it, waking up in the game and controlling your game. So to me, life mastery, self mastery has been a big thing. So I will be talking about all of that on this on YouTube. So it's a YouTube page, or it's called Wings Unleashed. And then I also am starting. I have. There's a separate brand, or I should say, channel coming out of that on IG. It is called Spirit Told Me to Tell You. So I will. I couldn't. You guys, I promise you, I was thinking about what am I going to call this, and I was, and can I? And when I tell you, that's probably the most honest thing that I could call this, because it's for real. Spirit told me to tell you guys. So you guys will still be able to connect and check in, and um, so leading into what my parting words of wisdom are. Um, like I'm even getting emotional thinking about it. Wherever you are, and whoever you are right at this moment in your life is absolutely perfect. Knowing that every decision, every move you make, good or bad, has put you in the position where you are right now. And if you're listening to this, that means that you are manifesting and being intentional and becoming more of who you are, because that's who's listening to this, right? Um, Nothing that has happened has not been on your behalf. It has not been for you. Spirit does not look at good or bad in that way. It sees expansion and growth. So if you're here, you want to expand, you want to become more of yourself. So show up for yourself like you would, like you are the love of your life. Be willing. You know how when you're in a relationship and people are afraid to have the hard talks with their partner,
Yeah.
you know, and because they don't want to, you don't want to rumble, have it. You just like, it's fine. And you know what ends up usually happening when you do that in relationships, right? So what ends up usually happening is you burst. You have you come like and people, and then the people, your friends or your partner, be like, wait, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you talking for? It's a surprise to them. So if you think of yourself as being in a relationship with yourself, like you are in love with you, and you don't have the hard conversations with yourself. Back to my saying, you are committing treason against yourself and you're hurting that relationship. Start treating yourself like it is the most important relationship in your life, because it most definitely is. It
Mhm.
most definitely is. So that's my little look. I'm like, and I guess that's my my message for the day, and my parting words.
That's beautiful.
And we are just under an hour. Chrissy, is there anything else?
No, just keep in touch with us. Don't be a stranger.
Yes, the page will still be up, you all,
Yeah.
and come check in on us, because as things are growing and expanding, we hope to connect and see with you. You don't know, we don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm here for it. I can tell you that, and I know whatever it is going to be awesome and amazing.
Mhm.
Fucking. So, we love you all. We are so grateful. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us. You know where to find us. Um, and as we always say, light, peace, love, and soul.
So,
We love you. Bye,
love
guys.
you.